And I will just let people joining the video know that all you're going to need today is some weights. You might want a set of lighter or heavier weights, or just a reasonable size weight should work. And then we will begin lying down. So let's make our way over to our mats. And go ahead and lie down. And as you find yourself lying back, if it feels like the right thing to do to close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. If it feels better for you to keep your eyes open, that's fine as well. But let your arms rest into the floor. Let your feet really ground into your mat. Feel the stability of that floor underneath you. And consciously recognize that you are as solid and steady as the ground is. We have so much potential within us. Each of us is filled with strength and resilience, an ability to adapt to pretty much whatever life throws at us, right? Life has thrown a lot at us recently, and we're still here because we are strong and adaptable and capable. So let's begin our practice this morning by really recognizing all this potential that's within us. And we can tap into that so much better when we are grounded, when we feel solid and steady. So that's our foundation, that's our beginning. We ground ourselves. And as we ground ourselves, it helps us to feel our body. So consciously now scan your body with your mind. Notice the feeling of your skin, your muscles. Notice if there's muscles that have been clenching or gripping for a while. And in this lying down position, recognize that those muscles can relax now. Take a moment to soften the roof of your mouth. Let it relax, soften, broaden, and experience how that feels. Take a moment and just acknowledge how you're feeling mentally and emotionally this morning. And then begin to really dive into the feeling of your breathing. Maybe your breath is kind of shallow initially. Start to deepen your breathing. Taking a fuller breath in, and then letting that breath empty out. Feel the expansiveness of the breath moving into the lungs, into the ribs, and expanding outward. And then notice how it feels as you allow that breath to empty fully and completely. Feel the sensation of breath moving in your body. Can you notice the energetic quality of your breath? How it's a little more of a energy flowing in when you breathe in? And can you feel sort of the calming quality of the exhale. So energy moves within us. Feel the energy that's in your body. We'll let that energy support us in our movement practice this morning. We'll tap into the energy and the strength and the resilience that's within us to work with our bodies. And we'll use this mindful awareness of how we're feeling to make adjustments to the movement so that it's just right for us in each moment of this morning's practice. So before we begin, you might want to set an intention or choose something that you want to focus on or cultivate this morning as you begin your practice, as you begin your day. What would you like to invite in? Breathe that in for a couple rounds. And then when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. We'll begin our movement practice by, let's hug one knee in, either knee, just give it a hug, and then extend the other leg out and let it rest on the floor. You can bounce that resting leg a few times and then just let it be nice and heavy on the ground. And hug the other knee in close. With the same hand, draw that knee out to the side and take a breath. And then hug that knee back in, grab it, pull it towards the midline and towards the opposite shoulder and get a little stretch in your outer hip there and take a breath. And then bring the knee back, take that leg up in the air, your arm can drop it to your side, and we're gonna circle the foot around in one direction, nice big circles, loosening up the calf and ankle here, and then circle the other way, nice big circles here. Turn that foot in all different directions. And then with your leg up in the air, try to keep your hips from moving and make little circles with that leg. We're just going to do kind of continuous circles. We're going to circle the leg around, and you can start with little circles. And with little circles, it's pretty easy to keep your hips from moving. And then if you were to make that circle bigger, it's going to be harder to keep your hips from moving. So we want it to be challenging to keep the hips from moving, but we want to be able to do that. And if you were to go a little faster, it might be even harder to keep your hips from moving. You can put your hands on your hips to check in and make sure you're keeping them steady. And then we'll circle in the other direction. Start with small circles. Try to keep your hips from moving. And you may notice how your core is bracing or firing on to keep your hips from moving. And make that circle a little bigger. And maybe a little faster. So you want it to be challenging to try to keep your hips from moving. All right, take the leg straight up and then take that bottom leg and hover it off the floor. So now it's a little harder. And the leg that's up in the air, same thing, make little circles. And then maybe make the circles a little bigger or a little faster while you're hovering the bottom leg. Now, of course, you could put the bottom leg down if that would be better for you. So circle in this direction a few more times with that leg that's up in the air, and then change direction on that circle. And maybe you're still hovering that bottom leg. Keep breathing here, don't hold your breath. Circle a few more times. Try not to let the hips move here. And then go ahead and relax the bottom leg and then release that top foot to the floor. We'll change legs. So hug the other knee in and extend the other leg out straight. You can bounce that straight leg a few times and then just let it be heavy on the ground. Hug that other knee in close. And then with the same hand, open the knee out to the side and take a breath. Bring the knee back, take it across and hug it towards the opposite shoulder and take a breath into that outer hip. And then bring the knee back, take the leg up in the air, drop your arms to your side, and we're just going to circle the foot around here. Nice big circles. Try to turn the bottom surface of your foot in all different directions. And then circle the other way. Nice. All right, so with that leg that's up in the air, start with little circles. Just continuous little circles. You might place your hands on your hip bones, your pelvic crest, to just kind of monitor and make sure that they're not moving. Maybe you make the circle a little bigger or a little faster, and you're bracing your core here to keep that movement from happening. Let's change direction on that circle. Are your hips shifting, rocking, lifting? Try to minimize that movement. Maybe make that circle a little bigger or a little faster in this direction. Great. All right, stop that leg up in the air. We're going to hover the bottom leg and then do the little circles with the leg that's in the air. So it's the low belly is going to fire a lot more here to hover that bottom leg. And then we're still trying to stabilize as we make the circles. Let's change direction on the circle with the leg that's up in the air. And we'll do a few more of these. You choose how fast, how big. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. And circle around a few more times. You're doing great. And then go ahead and release your bottom leg. Release your top leg. All right, let's put both feet on the floor. And we're going to lift our heads a little bit off the floor and clasp our hands beneath the head, elbows wide, head resting in our hands. We'll take a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to begin by knitting the ribs down into the belly and curling up the head, neck, and shoulders. As the ribs are knitting in and down, we're going to look between the legs, and let's reach the arms forward, knit the ribs a little bit more. And then can we keep those ribs knitting in as we start to release the head back? Let the head go all the way down. Let your arms reach overhead without popping your ribs up toward the ceiling. Take a breath. And then again, knit the ribs into the belly to curl up head, neck, and shoulders. Bring your arms up and reach the arms forward beyond your knees here. And then keep the ribs knitting in as you release the head back, as you release the arms overhead. Take a breath. Couple more like that. Knit the ribs, curl up head, neck, and shoulders. Reach forward. Really knit those ribs down and in. And then keep them knitting down and in as your head goes back, as your arms reach overhead, as you breathe. And then one more time. Knit and curl up and reach forward. And then keep those ribs knitting in as the head goes back, as the arms go overhead, as you take a breath. Nice. And then take the arms that are overhead and bring them out like cactus arms, right angle arms out to your side. And if your hands can rest back, go ahead and do that. If that's not comfortable, you could have them a little bit up toward the ceiling. Or you could even, if it's not comfortable, have your arms straight out to your side. So maybe cactus arms, maybe arms out to your side. Let's take our feet off the floor and bring our knees over our hips. We'll take a breath in. With our exhale, we're going to let the knees drop about halfway over to one side. Let's hold the knees there and take a breath. And with the exhale, draw those knees back to center. We're going to let the knees drop halfway over to the other side. Hold them there and take a breath. And with the exhale, bring them back up. We'll continue like that. So knees might go halfway over, they might go a little less, a little further. Take a breath. And then bring them back. Take them over to the other side. How far do you want to go? Hold them there, take a breath. And then bring them back. We can do this with bent knees. We can do this with straight legs, taking them over to one side. Hold them there, take a breath. And then draw them back to center and over to the other side. Take a breath. And then draw them back up. All right, your arms again could be cactus arms. If that's not comfortable, they could be out wide. And then we're gonna open the legs out wide into a straddle, flex your feet, and then bring them back up, just straight up from your hips. We're gonna open out and bring them back up. Open out and bring them back up. Open and lift open, and lift. Now bend your knees, open your knees out wide and bring them back up. Open them out and bring them back up. Open them out. So we're trying to turn on the inner thigh muscles here. And so this takes a number of repetitions to really feel anything. So we're going to do this again with straight legs. If you want to do it with bent knees instead, you can. Otherwise, we're going to alternate. So opening out and bringing back up. Opening out, let's flex the feet. A few more like this. And then we'll try this with bent knees. We're going to open the knees apart and bring them back up. Open them out, bring them back up. A few more like this. Just trying to work the inner thighs a little bit here against gravity. Let's do a few more. All right, good job. And release your feet down. Let's roll to the side now and make our way around to all fours. We'll be kneeling. And just take a little time to kind of move around, shift your weight side to side, move your head. And then making your way to center, let's just do some cat-cow just on your own. Just arch and extend and then round and flex and in your own speed, in your own way. Just taking your spine so that it has an opportunity to lengthen and arch. And it has an opportunity to round or flex. You can add a little side to side movement if that feels good. You can add a little front to back movement. Whatever feels nice for you at this point in your morning. Keep breathing deeply here. And then eventually you can just transition back to flat back. And then let's actually come up to kneeling and facing our device. And I want you to put one hand on the floor and one foot on the floor. Get this hand right beneath your shoulder. Your other hand could be on your hip. And then this leg that's extended, we're going to lift it up and flex that foot. So we're going to lower that foot down and then lift it up. And you could touch it. You could hover it close to the floor or you could just touch it. We're just going to go down and up and down and up. So we're working the outer thigh. We're working into the hip here. This hand on the floor will spread the weight out into the fingers, the knuckles. So it's not just all on the heel of the hand. Let's go down and up a few more times here with a nice active leg as we're pressing out through the heel. And then with that leg lifted, we're going to do circles. Circling around in one direction, similar to what we did on our backs earlier. And then let's circle the other way. Nice job. Let's do a few more of these. And then we're just going to hold that leg out. Can you get long from heel to crown and take a breath? And then relax that leg down. We're going to change sides. So come up onto your knees and come over to the other side. Extending that leg out. Get that hand right under your shoulder. And then we're going to lift that leg up. Press out through the heel. We're going to lower it down. You can touch and then come back up, or you could just hover close to the floor. We'll go down and up a few more times. So just starting to work into that hip, into the glute, into the outer thigh. We try to target many areas of the body here so that we maintain that strength and mobility here. Go down and up a few more times. Maybe feeling the work a little bit in the bottom leg that we already worked a little bit. Let's hold that leg up and circle. You could point the toe here if you like. Circle the leg around. And then let's circle the other way. Good work. A couple more of these here. Nice. And then let's hold that leg out, flex long from heel to crown. Take a breath. And then you can come back up. All right, make little fists with your hands and just place them on your low back. Let's push the hips a little forward. Draw the elbows in, lift the heart up. Nice big back bend here. And take a breath. And then use your belly to draw yourself back up. Great. Come back around to all fours. Get nice and square here. Let's actually sit back on our heels and round into child's pose. So you might support your head, you might let your forehead come to the floor. You might move your hips a little side to side. Take a moment here to just check in. How's it feeling so far? How you doing? What are you breathing in this morning? Just remind yourself, breathe that in. And then when you're ready, let's come back to all fours. All right, we're going to do a little bear crawl variation here. So we're going to curl the toes under and lift the knees up so they're just hovering a little bit off the floor. So lots of options here with bear crawl. You could just be right here hovering. The next thing we're going to try is just walking the feet up a little closer and then walking the feet back. So walking the feet a little closer and then walking them back. And you might start with one foot coming up first and back and then the other foot. So you're alternating the starting foot. So this is another level that we could be working at. And the goal is to keep the hips pretty low as we're doing this. All right, now we're going to add. So we're going to walk up and we're going to walk back. And then can you take one hand and tap the opposite knee and take the other hand and tap the opposite knee. So let's do like right foot forward, right foot back, left foot back, and then tap your right knee and then tap your left knee. And then left foot forward. So left foot goes up, left foot goes back, and then tap the left knee and then tap the right knee. All right, right foot forward, right foot back, and then tap the right knee and tap the left knee, and then left foot forward and left foot back, and then tap the left knee and tap the right. All right, so just keep doing this on your own. You might just do the stepping forward and back. You might just do the knee tap. You might not like the knee tap. You might just be hovering and then taking a break. So just kind of play around with this for a little bit longer. Doing what feels right for you. We're building strength in the shoulders here. We're working the core. Lots going on. Let's do one more round of this. Whatever you're doing, a little bit longer. Nice job. And then we're just going to hold that little bear crawl hover, knees close to the floor. Take a breath. And then go back and up to down dog. Good job. All right, take a breath here. Draw the hips way up and back. Maybe bend your knees a bit to get the hips a little further up and back. Shake your head, release your neck. Breathe in and out. And then drop to your knees and sit back. Your shoulders might want a little break. You might bring your arms to your side as your forehead comes down. Take a breath in and out here. Then we're going to lift our heads up, reach our arms way out in front, and then bring yourself forward. We're going to lower down. So we're going to be doing kind of a modified push-up here. We'll push back to knees, take the hips back, and then rock forward and lower yourself down. So pushing up to knees, taking the hips back, bringing the chest forward and lowering down, just sliding your body down inside of your arms here. So it's like a tricep push-up or like a chaturanga style movement. Lowering down, pushing up, taking the hips back. A few more like this. Lowering down, pushing up, taking the hips back. Let's do 4 more. Lowering down, pushing up, taking the hips back. There's 1. And we'll lower down, push back up, take the hips back. There's 2. We'll lower ourselves down, push ourselves up, take the hips back. There's 3. Last one here, lower down, push yourself up, and sit all the way back into child's pose. Breathe in and out here. Then we'll lift our heads up, transition to downward facing dog. Pressing down through the hands, lengthening the spine, sitting bones lift way up and back. Maybe lift the back of your thighs up as you breathe deeply in and out. Then walk your hands back towards your feet, lowering your heels down, blending, end up folded over here, arms and head loose and dangly. Feet are planted now. Take a big breath into your upper back. Allow the breath to empty out. Then draw your belly in and roll yourself up here. Take a little time to unfurl. Stack your vertebrae. Eventually stack the neck, lift the head. As you ground down, reach your arms out and then reach them up. Big breath here. And then exhale, letting your arms release down at your side. Nice job. Let's turn and face our device with our feet beneath us. Just start to lift your heels up and then lower them down. And lift your heels up and lower them down. So we're going to come up. Let's lower slowly if we can for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, down. Do that again. Lift your heels up and lower slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, down. One more time like that. Lift your heels up nice and high, slowly lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, great. All right, we're gonna pick up some weights here. You probably can use your heavier weights here. We'll do some squats. Get those legs working here a little bit differently. So again, squat, stance, heels about as wide as hips, maybe a little wider. Toes might be angled out just a bit. We're gonna sit down into our squat, knees tracking where your toes go. Your arms can be down here. See how far down you wanna go. And then as we straighten up, we're gonna press up. So actually, let's just have our hands by our shoulders as we sit into our squat, and then we're gonna press up. So we're gonna sit and press up, and sit and press, and sit and press, and sit and press. As we press up, you could try lifting one knee. Little balance work here. Sit, lift the other knee. And sit and lift, and sit and lift. A few more like this. Good job. Last one like this. And then we won't lift the knee. We'll just sit and press straight up, and sit and press. Let's do 2 more. Sit and press. Last one. Good job. All right, we can bring the arms down. We're going to set our weights down for a little while and do a little bit of flow. So making your way to the front of your mat. Let's plant our feet, ground down to stand tall. We'll take the arms and reach them out. Let's reach them up as we breathe in, stretch up, lengthen, and then swan dive forward. We'll take a breath into the upper back here. As we exhale, we'll extend the spine forward. Hands might go to shins. We'll inhale and fold again. And then let's step back to down dog. We take a breath in here. Exhale and lower to straight arm plank. Hold here for a breath. Exhale, bend the elbows a bit. Take another breath here. Exhale and we'll lower all the way down onto belly. prone mountain here, nice and long. Let's inhale up to baby cobra and exhale back down. We'll do that again. Inhale up to baby cobra. We'll lift our hands, lift the elbows and squeeze in here. And then release the hands, release the chest. This time we'll start in baby cobra. Inhale up to baby cobra. And you could stay here or come up a bit higher into cobra if you like. And then we'll lower back down. Let's push our way back up to plank and then up and back to down dog. We'll breathe in and out here. Looking forward, let's walk up to the front of our mat, plant our feet beneath us. And we'll reverse swan dive here. Let's sweep the arms out. Inhale and rise up, reach up. And we'll exhale our arms down at our side. And again, rooting down, inhale and reach out and up. Exhale and swan dive forward. Bringing hands to the floor, we'll step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Exhale and lower to straight arm plank. So from this plank, we're going to transition to side plank. So you could drop to the knee that's further from your device and turn that foot back and lift up into side plank, or just roll to the sides of the feet and lift up. Feet could be front and back, or feet could be stacked here. Let's lower the hips down and lift them up, and lower them down and lift them up, and lower them down and lift them up. Couple more like this. If this is too much on your wrist, you could drop to your forearm or put that bottom knee down. Let's do one more. And as you lift up, stay there. Could you lift a little bit higher? Take a breath. Great. And then transition to plank again and back to down dog. Breathe in and out here. And then we'll lower to straight arm plank. And we're going to do the other side. I'm just going to turn so I can see. So you can either drop to the knee and turn it back, or just roll to the sides of the feet, or you might stack your feet. Either way, can you lower your hips and lift your hips, and lower your hips and lift your hips, and lower and lift, and lower and lift. Let's do a few more like this. Modifying as you need. If you need to drop to forearm or drop to knee, do what's right for you. Two more. And then the next time we lift up, let's just hold it up there. Hold, hold, hold. Take a breath. Good. And then back to plank. And then back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out here. Good. We'll lower to straight arm plank. We'll take a breath here. Let's try a little bend in the elbows. Take a breath here. And then lower all the way down. Okay, we're going to come on to forearms. So get your elbows right beneath your shoulders. And then slice down to lift the chest. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up. So you could be on your knees in forearm plank, or we could lift the knees. Try to keep the hips in line with the ankles and the shoulders. We could just hold this forearm plank, or we're going to try stirring the pot. So that would just be taking the hips a little to one side, lifting them up, taking them to the other side, lowering them down. So little circles here. We have kind of a circular theme today and a lot of core focus today. So we're circling the hips around, circling around in this direction one more time, and then we'll go the other way. Circle them out, up and around and down. We call this stir the pot. Stirring the pot of the pelvis. Go in this direction two more times. Last one. And then just hold. Take a breath. Nice work. And lower down. Take your elbows wide. Let your head rest on your hands. Let everything relax here. And take a breath. All right, let's get the upper body relaxing. We'll work the lower body. Press the front of your hips into the mat. Press the tops of your feet down, firing up the backs of the legs, and then lift the legs up. And point your toes strongly back. Feel the whole leg, the back of the leg working. Could you lift them a bit higher, working into those glutes here? Can you flutter? And as you flutter, can you feel that action coming not just from the knee down, but from the hip down? Flutter, 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 flutter. Can you take the legs a little bit wider as you flutter? Can you bring them a little bit closer in as you flutter? Take them a little wider as you flutter. Bring them a little closer in. One more time, take them a little wider and then bring them in. All right, just hold the legs up, take a breath, and then relax them down. Nice work. Let's bring our arms to our side, palms up, fingertips reaching back, nice and long, toes to crown. We'll press the hips down and lift the legs up. Reaching back through the fingertips, let's inhale and lift the chest up. Nice, long locust pose here. Can you get any longer? Toes to crown, sternum pulling forward, fingertips reaching back. Could you lift the legs, lift the chest, and take one more breath? Nice work. And then lower yourself down. Very nice. Bring your hands next to chest. Push back to knees. Let's go all the way back to child's pose. Might walk your hands in and rest your forehead on your bent arms. We'll breathe in and out here. Checking in. Connecting with how you're feeling. Connecting with your motivation this morning, your inspiration, your focus. When you're ready, lift your head up, reach your arms out, make your way to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out here. And then let's walk our hands back towards our feet, lowering our heels down, ending up folded over here. From here, we're going to bend the knees and lower the hips. We'll sweep our arms out in front, sitting a little further back into a low chair here. Let's take the arms up by the ears. We'll take a breath in and out here. And then pushing into the feet and legs, we'll inhale and rise up, reaching up. And we'll exhale, arms down at our side. Nice work. All right, we're going to pick up our weights again. And we'll do some leg work, some arm work. We're going to do squats and lunges. I'm going to suggest that you might want to stand on one side of your mat because we're going to squat and then we're going to lunge. And if you have a mat distance to step over, you might like that approach, but it's not necessary. You could be doing this on your mat and stepping back. So whatever works best for you. I'm going to stand in front of my mat, feet about hip distance apart. We're going to start with a squat and a bicep curl. And then we're going to step back with one leg and we're going to lunge and bicep curl. And same leg, we're going to squat and then we're going to step back. And then we're going to squat and then we're going to not fall over and lunge. And we're going to sit and squat and we're going to step back and lunge. Hopefully you're not struggling as much as I am to keep your balance. Step back and lunge and squat and lunge. Two more. Sit and squat, step back and lunge, and sit and squat, step back and lunge. All right, we're going to stay here. So I want you now to straighten your back leg. So you're putting your weight on your front foot. And we're going to take the arms and swing them back. And then keeping the elbows where they are, we're just going to bend in and press back. Tricep extensions here. Bend in and press back. And bend in and press back. Lift them up nice and high. Bend in and press back. Bend in, press back, bend in. So elbows stay where they are, and those lower arms press straight back and lift. Let's do 2 more. The next time you press back, can you hold them there? Maybe lift a little higher, take a breath, and then lower down. Great. Step in, sit into your squat. Other leg. Step back, lunge, and curl. Step up, squat, and curl. Step back, lunge, and curl. Step up, sit, curl. Step back, lunge, curl. Step in, squat, curl. Step back. A lot of times if our balance is challenged, it's because our stride is too narrow. So we want that foot to go back hip distance. And squat. And lunge. And squat. A few more of these. Maybe starting to feel those biceps. Yep. Let's do 2 more. We're going to lunge and curl, squat. And this time we're going to lunge back. We'll do our curl. And then we're going to just bend the front knee forward. Back leg is more straight. We're going to take the arms, swing them straight back. And then keep the elbows where they are. Curl in and press back. And curl in and press back. And curl in. So you're lifting back. We want to target those triceps. Back of the upper arm. Maybe you're starting to feel it. Press back and lift. Don't lower your elbows. As you bring the bottom arm forward, the upper arm stays back. 4 more. Press back. 3 more. Press back. 2 more. Press back. Last one, we're going to press back and hold. Lift them up a little higher. Take a breath. Nice job. Lower down. Step in. Straighten up. Good job. All right, we're going to hold this position similarly in one more way. So we're going to sit into our squat. We're going to step back with the left foot, so that first leg. We're going to bend the front knee and lean forward. Now the arms are dropped down, and we're just going to lateral raise and down. Lateral raise and down. Lifting straight out and down. Working the back of the shoulder here and down. We're just going to do 4 more and 3 more and 2 more and 1 more. And then we're going to step in, stay low, step back with your other foot. So front knee is bent, back leg is straight. We're going to do the same thing, lateral raise. Now, if you got the heavier weights and it's getting to be a bit much for you, you could lift 1 arm at a time. So either both arms or 1 arm at a time. We're going to do 4 more and 3 more and 2 more. Let's hold them up this time. Hold them up, hold them up. Take a breath. Good work. Lower down. Step in nice and low and then straighten up. Good work. Okay. We can put these heavier weights down. We're going to pick up our lighter weights maybe. You could keep your heavier weights if you want. But we're going to have long levers here, so heavy weights will be a little challenging. So we're going to come into a wide stride. We're going to turn the right foot in and turn the left foot out. And we're going to just begin bending the front knee and straightening it. So we're just going to do this motion with the legs. And then we're going to just lift straight out. We're going to lift straight out. So it's a lateral raise, but now we're upright. So we're working the deltoids, the tops of the shoulders more rather than the backs of the shoulders. And again, if it gets to be a bit much, you can just lift one arm and then the other arm. Now we're just going to do a few more of these, maybe 4 more, and 3 more, and 2 more. We try to work the shoulders in all different ways to kind of target all the muscle groups. Let's turn the feet the other way and turn the other foot out, and same motion with the legs, just bending and straightening that knee and just lifting up, lowering down. Yeah. So lifting with a straight arm is challenging because you got this long lever with the weight at the end. So if your shoulders are a little overtaxed, you could just lift one arm at a time. We're going to do 4 more. 4 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. Nice work. All right, turn your feet forward. Let's walk our feet in, or we could jump in. Last thing, we're just gonna, we'll keep both our weights. I want you to hinge forward. All right, I want you to hinge forward. You can put a little softness in your knee. You're gonna just let your arms dangle. So this is like a deadlift, right? Now, can we activate the back of the legs, hamstrings and glutes, and use those to bring us back up? So we're going to hinge forward, let the weight drop down. You're not bending at the waist, you're hinging at the hip, and then activate back here to bring you back up. Hinge forward, and then activate to pull back up. All right, let's now put the weight on one foot and bend a knee. And same thing. We're going to hinge forward, so there's a little balance work here. Let the weight hang down, and then bring yourself back up. Change legs. Other foot comes down, bend the other knee, hinge forward, let the weight kind of pull you forward, hinge forward from the hip, and then bring yourself back up. Step that foot down. So as you hinge forward, same thing other side. You might just let the weights hang down. You could let them touch the floor, the bells touch the floor, and then bring yourself back up. And then change legs. Or you don't have to let them touch. You could just hinge forward and let them kind of hang down, however far down that is. You want to just hinge and not bend if possible. And let's do that one more time on each leg. Hinging forward, bells hanging down. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. And then you come back up. And then other side. Hinge forward, hinging from the hip, and then bringing yourself back up. Great job. All right, we're done with the weights. Place them down. Let's make our way all the way down onto our backs. So come all the way down to the floor. We're going to lie on our backs. Place your feet down, hip distance apart. Set up for bridge pose. So heels in close, kind of heels under your knees, feet hip distance apart, arms at our side. Let's just curl up and lift the hips up. And just lift up to the point where you feel your low ribs still contacting the floor. Take a breath. And can you lower incrementally just your lower back? So those lumbar vertebrae lowering down individually. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just let everything relax and take a breath. Do that again. Curl up, just your lower back lifts up, just to the point where you feel your low ribs still connected. Take a breath. And then release slowly, gradually, those lumbar vertebrae. And then relax your sacrum, your tail, relaxing, rolling out. Take a breath. This time, let's curl up, and you can get to the point where your low ribs are still on the floor, and then just lift up more into a more traditional bridge. Lifting your hips up and up and up, knees and shins go forward, weight comes up more towards your shoulders, You're lifted up nice and high. We'll take a breath here. And then let's roll down slowly, gradually, incrementally. You eventually get to where your low ribs are, and then continue to roll out nice and slow and gradual and incrementally until you're all the way down. And we'll do a full bridge one more time, or you might just like the low bridge. You choose. One more bridge, any way you like. Take whatever time you want to take to come up into your bridge, and then take however much time you would like to lower back down out of your bridge. And a personal preference here. And you might still be coming up, you might still be coming down, wherever you are when you're all the way down and rolled out. Just let everything relax. Take a breath. We're going to finish up with clamshell. So let's hug our knees in. And with your knees hugged in, roll towards one side, probably towards your camera. Drop your arm down. Take that bottom arm out in front of you on the floor. Take your other hand and rest it on top, palm to palm. Bring your knees up close to your elbows, and then take that top arm, reach it up, reach it back behind you, rolling your chest and gaze up toward the ceiling here. And then we're going to take some deep breaths in and out. Let your exhale be a full emptying and releasing here. So the breath moves in and down on the in-breath. And for the exhale, you might want to blow it out. You might want to sigh it out. But let it completely go so you deepen all the way into this twist. And with this next exhalation, just let go of something that's been bothering you. Just let it empty out with your breath. Great. Let's bring the arm from behind back up. We'll bring it back down. Let's roll onto our backs, and we're going to do the other side. So we're going to roll all the way around. So the other arm is out on the floor in front. We'll take the top arm and stack palm to palm. Let's bring the knees up close to the elbows, and then that top arm can reach up. Let it reach back behind you. Look up at the ceiling as that arm reaches back. And then use your breath in a way that helps you here. Let it move in your body, and let your exhale be a chance for letting go. Let go of frustration, annoyance, anger, resentment. Let go of something that isn't serving you. It's kind of weighing you down. Just breathe it out with your exhale. And after your next full release of breath, let the arm from behind come back up and come back down. We'll transition to our final relaxation now. So you might want to put on a layer if it's chilly where you are. You might want to cover up with a blanket or put a pillow under your head. We're going to take a few moments to get nice and warm and comfortable so that we can do our final pose. Often considered one of the most important, most beneficial parts of the practice, our Shavasana, our corpse pose. So once you're warm and comfortable, lie yourself back. If it's comfortable to close your eyes, go ahead and do so. And now we're just going to allow. We're going to allow the process of relaxation to unfold. We'll allow the weight of the body to settle and release into the floor. Feeling the heaviness of the legs dropping into the floor. Feeling the weight of the hips dropping into the floor. Allowing the belly to soften, the gut to unclench. Feel the weight of the arms resting down, the hands soft, the palms relaxed. The shoulders heavy, the chest soft and open. The back relaxing, releasing into the floor. As the weight of the head rests back, we'll let the facial muscles soften, smooth, release and relax. We'll rest here, easy, natural. Body relaxing. Let the mind rest as well. We have an experience, and then we take the time to allow that experience to be integrated. We offer our bodies and our minds a chance to receive the experience, to process. We give ourselves some time and some space. Our bodies offer us so much. They carry us through our days, through our lives. And in this final pose, we kind of give back to the body and the mind. We give them a chance to rest. Come back to their natural, relaxed state. And we recognize this state that's within us, at ease, at peace, relaxed and open. So you might choose to stay here longer. If you're ready to transition now with kindness, with gentleness, you might open your eyes. You might bring your feet to the floor and just gently roll to your side. Taking a little time to transition. Kindly and gently, at your own pace, you might make your way up to sitting. And it's always nice to close out with a few moments for some quiet reflection, prayer, gratitude. Taking a moment to connect with what's really important to you. And perhaps considering how you want to move forward into your day. And with peace and love, it's great to be together. Thanks for being here. And you might want to make your way over and say hello or goodbye. You might want to just head off on your day, whatever's right for you.